Hello and welcome to episode 35 of Demo Reviews. Today we got another guy. Hop right into it. It's playing Face It Tournament, I think. Or Basic Game, blah blah blah, whatever. Let's face it. See, it's bottom corner. First time I've done a Face It match. So let's hop right into it. As I said, and let's see what you're doing here. You're buying chest armor, very typical. It all rushed out long. No one's able to trade. I don't know. Thought he had a good gun. I don't know what you're doing. Alright, either you gotta commit to watching the flank or do something else, cause that's just it's all guys do there. Alright, and you heard him shooting your teammate, and he died obviously through it, because you can hear little gunshots going off. Again, pay attention to your surroundings. If your teammates are pushing up, push up with them right away. If they're gonna be staying there, that's fine to watch the flank. But you gotta commit to watching the flank or pushing out, right, so you guys don't get flanked. Because there's one guy coming, as we saw in the X-ray, as well as you just kind of gave up and you turned back. You saw a guy, but still, you didn't process that right away. So now you're going to be saving. Probably get a Tech 9 armor. Just gonna get Tech 9 some nades. Not a bad choice. Gotta remember aim punch is gonna be hard on you. Running down the suicide. I felt like 3 or 4 guys there. That's tapping. Crosshair's really low. Fire. I just run out there. I don't know. You look kind of lost. Didn't know what you were gonna do. Crosshair was aiming at the chest, not at the head. Some good tapping with the Tech 9 over here when you're at medium range. But yeah, mostly you just kind of look lost. Bad aim. Decent trigger discipline. Didn't look weird. What happens this round? So you just buy a pistol. Nothing too bad. We'll have enough money to buy an AK next round. As well as maybe some nades. Again, aim punch really killing you there. So you weren't able to get any good shots off on him. No, now you should be able to buy full nades. DK. Again, you can buy nades still, but you save the 450 for some reason. I don't understand why. Molotov, HE to clear out spots. Always good. Now you're not really watching anything, like I don't get why you're not peeking to watch your teammates lower tunnels, as well as not watching Cat either. You're just letting them get control of mid, and you're just kind of hiding up here. If they were to push, obviously you're able to get this guy, nice headshot. But if they would have just gone straight lower, teammates would have been fucked, and then you waste the smoke here. It's a hard shot for anyone to hit through these double doors, right? So obviously you can jiggle peek it without having to waste the smoke. If you know there's an opper there, then throw your smoke. If not, you're just wasting your smoke. It's not even a good smoke either. Like, this gives them access to lower tunnel still. As well as they can hop on the Xbox, do all this other stuff. As we can see, one guy opted you, or op shotted I should say, from mid, throwing a flash. Now you're pushing up. You know there's one CT, and you should know there's one towards B slope because your team was shooting at him. So there's at least 2 mid. Again, you're trying to take a 1v1 battle with an op, especially at this distance where he has a headshot little glitch thing right there. Probably wasn't going to work out for you unless you really fucked up. You're aiming at the head, just it's an op, so nothing you can do about it. Round. Oh, just won that round. Alright, So your teammates were able to win that round. Now you can buy this is as much as you can buy basically. And you're running backwards, not really paying attention if they had an op or something good. Scout, tag you through that. This time you are watching lower, teammates are lower, careful. You guys watching it from back here, which is pretty good by him. You know there's one mid. You should know there's one lower. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing either. You're just, again, you know, they rushed in. We only know like one guy had an M4. The other guys we didn't know what they had, but it didn't look like they had an M4 when you were watching them go in. And you definitely should have cleared your tunnels because you just gave them all that tunnel control, right? Tell your teammates, right, to go with you if you're not that good with aim. Come with you in the tunnels and clear it out because you need that map control. And as we can see, your teammate was like AFK over here. They were able to get tunnel control and basically swarm you guys. Thankfully, you guys are still able to win that. As you can see, they're on a force because they're really bad at managing their economy. Probably should try to ask for a drop or something. Could. Like, you know, a set smoke. But messed up. You really gotta work on that spray control. Your crosshair was on the head, but again, fell down, sprayed, and you weren't compensating for recoil right there a lot, as much as you should have. They were on a force buy, now buy up, weapons, whatever. You guys are more to eco. Let's see where you go. Teammates are all going towards B. Head mid. Plan is alright, you know where that flash came from, right? Flash it. The flash is a good indicator he's gonna peek it. And it just runs straight to him. And you only have a Glock, so you weren't gonna flinch anyways. So you just gave him a free kill. So you're walking, not bad. And that guy spray him down, which is nice. And you kind of aiming at the chest. He was aiming at your head, especially with that AK. It would have killed you before you killed him. Oh, set flash. Nice. Oof. Unlucky. Jumping. Fucking Mac 10 or the fuck MP9, whatever you had. I don't know if you could have done anything better there, except maybe have your gun out and ready instead of trying to throw a flash when your team is gonna run up there. But overall, nothing you could do about that. You can still lose the round. You guys are ecoing again. What you guys said to do. So you saw you had an op, and you're just AD spamming right here. What you kind of want to do is take wider AD spams, I guess you should say, because you want him to not be able to hit the shot. Because when you're quick AD spamming like this, you're basically staying in the same area. You just have to aim at your chest because you're not really moving that much. If you keep going one way, right, it's gonna be it's still easy for him to aim because you're going in one direction. He just has to time it correctly. But if you do wide AD spams, right, back and forth really large, to know when you're going to be changing, as well as if you add in like a couple quick ones in there, right? If you're quicker than him, those large AD back and forth movements will throw him off guard. Try that, and try to get as close as you can. Try to make him miss his first shot, and then you have the advantage. So 7-2. Tough game. A little full buy. Oh, looks like you want to go for the op and armor. On pick, long, A pick. God, these guys. Car. You heard him shooting the car. I think your teammate. Again, you're getting shot at in the car. Just don't react to it. Again, that very common spot is along the wall there. And there's a slight gap where if you were paying attention, you would see his foot and you might be able to like shoot him before he shot you in the face, especially you had no head armor, so not. Again, very common angle. And most of the time people lower skill levels, base it's more random, but it tends to be lower skilled players. They don't know how to do good smokes, right? So some of these have gaps in them, so you have to be careful about that. Your economy's pretty bad, but got a force up here. Going with P90 armor. Maybe I'd go with the Tech 9 armor, just the full nades, right? Very useful if you know how to use them. On this map, maybe not so much. That's 2. Maybe a flash would be good. Russian. Should have realized I was the second guy. Saw the first guy peek out, and the second guy, or peeked out to the left. The second guy hopped over. I don't know how I would react to that situation, but had good aim. All I can say. You flicked to that guy's like face, you dinked him right away, able to spray him down. Now let's move on to the next round. On that round, nice. Go smoke, and then you have Tech 9, and you have full nades. Oh, okay, you go down suicide. 2 people crossed. You should think they have a third guy mid. He's gonna be on this right side. Maybe throw a pop flash. Just don't walk out here naked. Again, you just run out here without a flash or anything. They've always had one guy mid, pretty sure. So instead of just running out here, right? Wait, you had full nades too. You could have thrown all your nades before you went out. Should have pop flashed in, throw in your smoke for CT, or done something, right? Don't waste that $1,000 on nades that you had. You guys kind of have to save that 4 spot. Not that good. Or just some frags, I don't know. Again, don't try to take that battle, you're not gonna win it. Fucking off. So you should at least know there's one on A site, you do that flash. Guys mid are swarming in on you. And you lose that round. Nothing you can do, eco round. Now it looks like you just want to force up. Very risky buy. Maybe you should just bought like a Tech 9 only and save for next round, right? This isn't the last round. You got one more round after this, so you guys better hope you guys win this. Pushing you. Oof, that was horrible aim. Definitely gotta work on that. Okay, at Mac 10, like, what the fuck is a Mac 10 gonna do against armor? It does nothing. You might as well just get a fucking Tech 9. Tech 9 is so much better. It's a good pistol. That guy dropped the gun, I think. And then you're just here AFK. Alright. So again, don't get fucking Mac 10. It does nothing. It does like 5 damage to armor. you should realize your B's open, and that's where you got killed from. Because look at the mini map. Like you had no one in B. You should think they're up 11-3. They're probably gonna play aggressive, right? Obviously, your teammate was able to get out long too. That tells you they probably stacked one cat, maybe a couple mid, and the guys B are probably pushing in. So now we take it to pistol rounds. Yeah, it is. Go chest armor. Nice, good shots. Now your teammate's making a lot of contact on B. One lower, and you should help out your teammate there, but you just ditch him. Nice headshot. Bot just jumping over. You should know there could be one mid. Yeah, two solid shots from those guys again. Good crosshair placement there. So far, I think you've had pretty decent crosshair placement. Like, definitely could be better most of the time. But I've seen you are kind of consciously aiming at the head a few times that I've watched you get a kill. Down a pistol round, the head on that guy at T spawn as well as P90 flicked the gun plot. So looks like they're rushing B again. Fast forward through this. Gun rounds. Around. Alright, now we have the gun around here. Buy full nades, as well as fucking M4. You don't need head armor. Yeah. Oh, actually, maybe because it's got that M9. But okay, you go for the op instead. I don't even know. Let's see how well you do this. Can't really make a clear judgment on your opping here. You were kind of like lacking any game awareness and like that was car that went around. Alright, that shot nice. Kind of just walked straight into you though. Teammate died B. One guy picking him from top mid. Alright, 1v4. You know there's 1B. Too long. One guy cat. Alright, let's see what happens here. You have a scout. And you have full armor. I don't think you need this head armor here. This goes to 350 because look at all their guns. This more than 100 today. It took you a second to recognize that guy, but a good headshot by you. Look at his face. Hear him next to the door. You 1 second, 1/2 second too long to register to kill that guy. As long as you have full names like this. You should know there's one mid. Right. Teammate should have called. They have B now too, especially with their teammates. How will you get the shots? So you should know he's coming up right side. You saw him too. Alright, so that ends it. Onto the review session, the scoring session for you. And that's where I'll basically tell you how well you played overall in this pug. Alright? Or this matchmaking, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Alright, here is the scoring section for you. Now, 29 out of 100, what does that say? That basically tells me you're kind of at like maybe a high-end level Silver Elite Master of this game, or even like a Gold Nova 1, 2 area. High level Gold Nova 2, I mean low level Gold Nova 2. Right, it's somewhere in between that area. So I judge you at this game. And so basically let's go off the check marks list here of aim, movement, awareness, and grenades. I'll tell you how I graded you on each part. So first one's aim. What do we have in aim? We have crosshair placement, accuracy, and trigger discipline. So for crosshair placement, I gave you a 3 out of 10. Wasn't that bad, but it definitely be a lot better. Catch my drift. So you did have moments where you were aiming at the head, naturally, like without having to flick up, right? A few times aiming in there already. Most of the time, though, you're aiming at the upper chest, or you're not even hugging the corners when you're around corners, right? And you're trying to clear shit, right? If you're coming around a corner, put your crosshair on the corner, right? Hug it, and as you come around, crosshair's moving with you. So then is accuracy. Accuracy is basically your spray control, as well as how well you hit with ops, pistols, etc., etc. I give you a 2 out of 10. Definitely needs a lot of working on. Can't just rely on your flicks all the time. Got to be able to spray someone down to catch you in an off angle, especially close range with the Tech 9, blah blah blah. Can't miss any of those easy shots. But mostly it comes down to the sprays with your rifles. So I noticed that you don't really spray too much when you can see their entire bodies. Definitely need to work on that. Definitely need to learn how to spray control with your rifles, your AK M4, Galil, your FAMAS. Some machine guns not so much, but definitely need those for those anti-eco rounds. Just so you can hit the head, spray, and get the head eventually. Or just spray down their entire body. Very useful. CSGO is a game about spraying, how well you can control your spray. So if you don't know how to spray well, you're not going to get that far. Finally is trigger discipline. Knowing when to tap, shoot, or tap first in the spray. I think you're alright. I gave you a 3 out of 5 there. Again, wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. I thought it was just right. Tech 9 tapping was good. I think some of your bursts were okay with your rifles from a distance. Your P90 spray on that guy on B plat was pretty solid. You flicked to his head, sprayed him down, killed him. But overall, I don't know. I think it needs some work definitely with just knowing when to spray, when to tap, when to burst. Finally comes to movement. So under this category we have movement, positioning, and rotations. So movement in general is just you get to your spot quick on T side, CT side, right? Do you have your gun out or do you have a knife? Do you walk when you're supposed to? Do you run when you're supposed to? The opposite when you're not supposed to? No, what happens is I gave you a 3 out of 5. I didn't see anything too bad. Again, didn't see anything too good. So I gave you a little extra points here and there to kind of boost your score. But definitely, if you have a good spawn for something, that's your advantage. Have your knife out, straight out, like on A long. If you have a good A long spawn, run with your knife out. Pull out your weapon kind of at the last second so you can pull it out and be ready by the time you get there and shoot, right? If it's a good spawn, you don't want to waste it. Then next comes to my next point, which is positioning. You didn't have really good positioning on T side. CT side didn't see you too much, but from what I could tell, again, not very good positioning. Couple rounds you threw, right, with the Galil and Cat, you just hop down to CT for no reason, especially when they're force buying, right? They're not going to have full nades, even kits, really. So if you just play bomb time, you win. All this aggressiveness, this unnecessary aggressiveness, I should say, is really what cost you a lot of rounds where you died a lot. Even though you didn't get a lot of kills this round, you definitely could have got a lot more if you played it smarter, in better positions, hold different angles, to where the CTs on when you're on T side have to come to you, come into your crosshair. Next up is rotations. Basically, how quickly do you get to the bomb? If you're a T on CT side, how quickly do you rotate to get to your teammates if they lose a sight? A few rounds I saw on CT, I didn't see a lot of good rotations. I gave you a 2 out of 10 side. You either with the bomb, but you didn't like come from a far angle, far off position to the bomb. So you kind of just wish it with it most of the time, or you just went out right, aggressive and just died. So I just gave you a 2 out of 10. Work on your rotations on CT side, definitely. Know who's, like if you're going to go A long with a teammate, know who's rotating, know who's anchoring, etc., etc. Like, oh, okay, I'll rotate. I died B, rotate over. So definitely can earn a lot more points in movement here. I couldn't really get a good score overall on your movement, so I just gave you a basic scores on them in general from what I saw, what little I saw, right? So 7 out of 25. Next is game awareness. Game sense is one factor for it, and that's you knowing where they're going to be at, or kind of thinking about where they're going to do, what are the seats going to play, do it win cat, have they played win cat, are they going to do a 2 setup, are they going to do 3-1-1 setup, do they have one mid, or do they just give up mid overall? You should know that they played mid quite often as CT side. They did a 2-1-2 setup most of the time, and one round you just ran through double doors and you didn't throw a flash, you didn't pop flash yourself. The guy had mag 7, he missed like 3 shots, you should have killed him. Bad aim too, died. There was another round where there was a guy car, he was shooting at you, but again, game sense or awareness in general was recognize that, and thankfully he didn't kill you, right? But he should have, because you were just not even looking at him. Definitely gotta listen more. Turn up your headset, your earbuds, whatever you had, so you can hear things clearer, because a lot of things you're really missing out when it comes to these shots. Next up is economy awareness. I give you a 4 out of 5. I thought your economy awareness was really good. Not perfect, because you definitely should be buying nades when you can. You have the money for it, as well as knowing what to buy, what you can't buy. Overall, I think you did fine on that part, but again, if you have the money, know how to plan your money accordingly. So the only reason why I didn't give you perfect score 2 was because of that second last round on T side, you bought AK armor and like I think 1 nade or something like that, or you bought something, right? Or P90. Definitely should have saved for the last round, even if your teammates didn't. Maybe just buy a Tech 9 armor then. You'll be able to buy, because I think you guys were on a 2 or 3 loss bonus. You would have got a good chunk of change. Then it's teammate positioning. I gave you a 1 out of 10. Learn how to play off your teammates. Learn how to use your teammates effectively, even if you're not even playing with them. Learn how to use them well. Either learn how to bait them and get the, not even bait, like how to get proper trades off of them, right? If they want to go in first, let them go in first, and then be close enough to get the trades. On CT side, make sure you guys aren't double stacking something, right? Obviously, you can have 2 or 3 guys come A long, but after like 15-20 seconds, we know they're not rushing it. Two or three people don't need to be watching A long. That's when you got to rotate off, have one guy stay there, blah blah blah. Same thing goes with mid. Don't double stack one spot when you know they're not going to be coming aggressive. Grenades is the last section, so I give you again 725. Bought. How often did you buy grenades? I want to say most of the rounds you did, but definitely could have bought them a lot more. I gave you a 3 out of 5. You need to buy up full grenades whenever you can. And is used correctly, I gave you a 2 out of 15. I think I only saw you like use 1 or 2 flashes well. Either you died with grenades in your inventory, or you threw like a shitty smoke that helped nobody, or it helped the CT side if anything. And then reacting to enemy grenades, dodging flashes, abusing their smokes. They throw bad smokes, blah blah blah, all that shit. Gave you 2 out of 5. I didn't see too much of it. I didn't see enough of it actually to make a proper thing, so I gave you a couple free points here. So overall, that brings you to 29 out of 100. That's basically telling me you're at Gold Nova-ish level, or maybe High Silver. So low Gold Nova, High Silver is what you kind of played at this game. If you're higher than that, like you're a higher rank, you definitely got to step up your game. If you're a lower rank, play better than you usually did in this game, even though you did frag pretty poorly. Right, so if you want a one-on-one session where I can show you different positions, different angles you can hold, as well as how to clear angles, crosshair placement, fundamentals of the game, as well as different nade spots and other things you might have questions on. Schedule a one-on-one session where it pays $10 an hour. If you want another demo review, it's $10 per demo review. Anyone else that watches this video and is like, oh, I'm interested in shit, I'll leave my email in the description box below.